Alqubit, IT, as an expression of art. Alqubit, IT, as an expression of art.
Hello world, I'm back. I cannot stay far away from my live production. So, another challenge. I have revolutionized with what I have left. So, today, the big challenge. I have returned after more than a year to operate with my Atem Mini Pro. The entire struggle that I had at the beginning, now I think I have solved it completely. So this live will be emulation of Supersource. I have done it and I am absolutely golden with not having operational my Atem Mini Extreme, lovely, preferred, but this is live. Now I will have the same thing here. My Supersource is back, so nothing is has been lost. Let me see if I have the audio. So the Supersource is solved. My audio monitoring has been always a challenge. With Atem Mini Pro, you don't have the headphone monitor. And at the beginning, I was using my beautiful Field Monitor that is here. And what I have found that I was struggling for the first couple of months with the audio. And that was the reason that I have invested immediately in Atem Mini Extreme. And the audio has been months and months, and I have super fine-tuned, solved the issues. Now, having returned to the origins, I've been facing here and there with critical vision. What was actually the issue? With my Field Monitor, the Field Monitor doesn't have enough power. Sorry, I'm in the middle here, keeping the live going. Because I need to do everything. The Field Monitor doesn't have enough power to power up the headphones, whatever they are. Even the Atem Mini Extreme has the same issue. That's why I began to put always those big headphones. Sony, absolutely the best of the best monitor for the last 40 years. It's still the number one. MDR 7506. But I think this looks better on my image, so I am now with my Pioneer. And the challenge is with Atem Mini Extreme, it doesn't have enough power to push the correct audio level, and it is distorting like crazy with high impedance headphones. That's why the monitor, they are around 57, 64 ohms, and it is feasible to push to here without distortion. Otherwise, you fine-tune the level, and it is actually a distortion of the output amplifier of the headphone. And I'm having not so much, but the same issue, very super flat, dull sound from my Field Monitor. It has a ridiculous amplifier. And so I have done an enormous effort to have I will pump up the volume a little bit. I have done the war machine of this evening, Atem Mini Pro, output HDMI 10-bit 422. I have a beautiful splitter. Where is the splitter? This splitter that is done for 4K 60 Hz HDMI 2 with all the protocols HDCP 2.2 and so on. I have set off scalar, I don't care, but I have set copy 1. What does it mean? From the output of Atem Mini Pro is going into HDMI in. Copy 1 from my output 1 is my field monitor with the setting to read the camera origin. In this case, it is reading EDID from Atem Mini Pro. In this way, it doesn't, I am at 25 frames per second. In this way, it doesn't push and change my frame per second and keeps 25 frames per second. In fact, if I double click, it is exactly 25 Hertz. Otherwise, see, it is changing everything. In this way, I have shared in those days the challenge with HDMI splitter. What I want to do actually, I want to have two outputs with the same quality properties, included audio, 10-bit to 422 UV. This is what I want to do, to have end-to-end. And how I have obtained it, and I have it. You see this little guy here, my ultimate? My ultimate is from output 2 from my splitter, and if the signal has some issues, this guy doesn't work. Absolutely doesn't have the audio, doesn't show the image, anything. But it has it, and everything is fine. Why? Because from the output copy 1, I'm synchronized at the best way with my field monitor, and I'm synced with UV 10-bit 422. With the splitters, what is the biggest issue? It cannot manage different syncs with each one of the outputs. They have to be almost identical, otherwise they have issues. One is degraded into 8-bit RGB or don't have any audio. You're struggling. How I have solved it? Output 1 is with the field monitor with the sync from the source of Atem, so it is keeping the original signal. In this way, with this thing here, copy 1, it is a feedback, retro feedback, that is actually self-empowering and gives to the output 2 the same sync. In this way, I'm having the second output absolutely with the same properties with the audio, and now I explain that I have super audio because my monitor sound is from here. I'll explain. I have done a real war machine in order to overcome my limitations at the moment, but it works. It works any aspects. And what was I saying? That they are synchronized, they are absolutely the same properties. You've 10.422, 1080p obviously, because it is from Atem Mini. 25 frames per second. This is the context of the beginning. Audio. I can have it as monitor feedback in real time from the Field Monitor. But the quality I don't like. I cannot perceive the dynamic range and everything, and this was actually the biggest issue during the first months, that I wasn't able to. Every time I was acting after the feedback of the live production that has been produced, and I was analyzing the sound, the image and everything. After that I was correcting, but it is asynchronous, cannot be done very effectively. And now I was correcting 4 milliseconds that I had to delete because this guy here, not having the headphone immediately from itself, every HDMI hop is, for me, is 40 milliseconds. 37 with DaVinci I have fine-tuned, 37, 40, almost 1 frame. Let's say 1 frame. And as it is here, I had the same. But my latency is becoming, now I'm having at least 40 milliseconds of latency, but I still can speak at the limit almost, because I'm hearing the delay. With one correction here, it was going to 80 milliseconds. I'm struggling like crazy. I'm beginning to not being able to follow my thought. So I had to delete it, and my end result will be probably with around 40 milliseconds of my audio with delay. But I'm doing what I can do, not miracles. So how I have solved the issue with the very good, excellent quality to have the audio monitor. Output 2 from my splitter is going into my beautiful Ultimate 12 Mini HD Mini. From here is going into another monitor that I have here down, which is good monitor, game monitor. That is, I'm seeing the image and I am extracting the audio from this monitor. It is 1,000 times better than my Field Monitor. This audio is entering, in order to have those beautiful effects here, is going into digital sound processor from Technics that tomorrow I need to repair the display, and I will do another video. From this is going into my Deck Technics Hi-Fi with DBX. Obviously it's all seen now, it doesn't have anything. operational. It works, everything works. And I'm using from the deck headphone output with the best of the best audio, and being everything, all those hubs in analogical, it basically doesn't have any delay, perceptible delay, probably 1 millisecond, a couple of milliseconds, but I'm having virtually real-time feedback in my ears, and this has the power, gives me completely the entire dynamics, and I'm having good sound, and this has enough power when I need to hear it as it was in extreme with low impedance headphones. I don't perceive any difference. Obviously, having it directly on the device is better, but the audio properties of Atem Mini Pro, obviously the sound, I will hear what is going on after that, but obviously it doesn't have the dynamics of extreme. But I have imported the configuration from the extreme. What I have done, when I was importing, I am not recording locally. Who cares? Because the end result outside of the OBS cannot be recorded. The entire Supersource, etc. cannot be recorded, obviously. I was preparing here to record in HyperDeck, but I will skip. My recording is on live stream on of the result. I'm transmitting in 4K on Restream. Restream has the properties to, you can see I'm basically quite excellent results of my live stream, and Restream will record the live stream eventually with 4K with the properties. The challenge, this is the viewer of OBS, what is going on as end result. The upstream key was blocking Atem Mini Pro because there was with two pop-ups, big pop-ups like this one. You see, I'm having half of the picture-in-picture of my extreme, but this is the basic functionality of Pro as well. Once you reset if you reset DV, but not full, only DV, it returns to this visualization that is this one, which is half of the functionality of the extreme. And I have solved even this issue, and I don't have any other issue. What I have shared in the group of Atem Mini, if you manage the delay And once I have imported the delay from extreme, it happens at least 3-4 times. It happened for 1.5 years. Once you have the delay, something happens with the memory presets on the signal manipulation. And you hear with pan effect. You hear with pan effect, but you don't have any settings here and you cannot put it right. The only way with which I have discovered that it works, you are doing a little bit, it's lost the signal. Back and forward with the delay, and after that setting it at the value you want, and the signal returns the preset. It is how it works. There is a main memory value of how to manipulate the signal. Those memory values probably somehow with the import of configuration, with the time when you split the signal, after that return it again together one, this gets somehow corrupted as a value, and you having very strange behavior. You have I once I went crazy. I thought the Sony headphones was broken. You can turn on 1,000 times, nothing works. Only this, you moving back and forward this value, and the other is a little bit this value. Back and forward, it resets and it works. Close this chapter. From my field monitor, I'm having the signal regenerated by the field monitor with the same properties, 25 frames per second, with 15 meters cable 8K 422 in order to go for 15 meters without issues into beautiful Intensity Pro input from Intensity Pro. You see, I'm having the input 1080p 25 frames per second. The output I'm giving from the Intensity Pro, the advantage is that you can have the input in the output completely separated in different programs, and you can do whatever you want. I'm having the output with OBS with decline output in 4K Ultra HD 25 frames per second on the monitor here. I want to see exactly how the end results is, and I'm having the Sony headphone with the audio of this monitor that has significant delay of at least a second, probably, given the entire flow. And with this, when I need to fine-tune the end result as OBS, I'm using as it was from the live stream, basically, with this monitor through this decline out. I'm having here the properties of Intensity Pro 4K input HDMI 1080p 25 U 10-bit. This thing, if it's not supported, if you set it manually, if it doesn't support this operation model, it breaks. It doesn't show anything. It can work in this way with 8-bit UV and 10-bit UV. I'm obviously boosting whenever possible. With 8-bit RGB, BGR, it doesn't work. Without boosting and recovering of the signal from here, as I was doing before, it was struggling and was reducing exactly in this way the signal. 8-bit BGR 8 and without sound. Now I'm having perfect sound, perfect signal. And this is the other thing, the settings to have. I'm in upscaling 4K with very limited bandwidth. My bandwidth, upstream bandwidth at the maximum point is 5.7 megabits per second. What I have done, the settings, I'm using P2 1660-bit because only this is giving me 422. I'm having unlimited computational power, so it doesn't do any, it is not absolutely of any issue. Where is my task manager? To open a little bit. You can see in real time. I'm repeating some of the aspects of before, but it is important. I haven't installed now the NVIDIA Tesla P4 because I don't need it and I need the hard disk. NVIDIA Quattro P4000. You can see it is encoding in hardware and it uses 45% because I'm pushing basically as much as possible, and when I have this thing open, it consumes more. If I close this one, the monitor that is the feedback of the actual delivery, it will go down to 30% with H264 that I am now. With H265, it will reach even 65-70% at with the same characteristics. It needs much more power, at least double, in my opinion, the test that I have done. You see, my output is absolutely how it needs to be, sending what I need. My CPU now is doing whatever it needs to do. The settings are those. I have set enable network optimization and dynamically change bit rates. With this is adapting with limited bandwidth. and within a range. It is kind of an emulation of Atem Mini slices, but it has much more power. Obviously it can manage, but with the properties of TCP of the operating system. Video, I have set it, now it's grayed out because I'm in live. In order to do the upscaling, it is enough to do only here. Output Ultra HD with the properties in F. Before I was doing here, the value is obviously in 4K, but rescale output I have validated super optimized any kind of solutions. There is no need to rescale out again. It is upscaled already and it is doing that way. NVIDIA H64. I have set the lowest value 4850, the highest 540 54 or 50 5450. I have seen that it is the tendency is to boost too much, and I was going into caching and issues. The another thing that I have seen, that this is gold to understand, for the compatibility of the recording with DaVinci Resolve. It is very important. Where is the setting? I cannot find it now. I will leave it in background if I record. Let's see. There was a setting, probably now it's grayed out and I cannot see it. There was a setting that if it is available to redo the file, it's placed on DaVinci Resolve like 4x. It cannot be done in the right way in any way. Transmuting or something like that. You need to disable the transmuting, or if I remember well. I cannot unfortunately find it now in real time. I'm under pressure. But probably was here. Exactly here. Automatically remux to MP4. If this is enabled, 1000% you cannot use this recording inside DaVinci Resolve. It is absolutely horrendous. It doesn't keep any time codes, playing, skipping. You need to disable this, and you can use eventually the recording inside DaVinci Resolve perfectly. With my power on this server, and in reading is 1 million IO, in writing is at least 300,000 or 500,000. It is enormous. In 3 gig in writing, in 7 gig in reading. Whenever I'm using the recording, it struggles somehow. It's influencing even my live stream. So I don't record on OBS. I have no idea why, but I have done the other day countless tests, and after a while with this configuration in upscaling, probably it behaves strangely. After a while it is now it's not recording. Here you will see struggling, beginning to do a lot of issues. So I'm not recording, I'm pushing with limited bandwidth. It is behaving perfectly. And what is actually what I want to say at the beginning. Atem Mini Pro HDMI output. Okay, use the splitter. I use the splitter. Atem Mini Pro 10-bit high quality cable with short cables to the immediately from the output to the splitter. It guarantees good signal. This is little device, even though I have done the teared up the other day. I have published. It is very good quality, but it is what it is. It doesn't do miracles. So from the pass-through output from my field monitor, the HDMI signal is preserved and it's going there. The attention that needs to be every time done is the limited signal. I hope that doesn't crash. If you put it in full, you see immediately what is happening. It cannot be used in full. Instead, USB 2 from the output from Atem Mini needs to be in full. It is inverted. If you use the Elgato Camlink 4K, the little device, it needs to be in the same UE2 or NV12, if I'm not wrong. It needs to be limited as well. And this is the other. And I'm having the full emulation of my Atem Mini Extreme. Absolutely the same. I have even fine-tuned my background, which is this image, a little color corrected, because it was at the beginning, even with Adobe Premiere Pro, that was distorted, and that's why it doesn't match somehow. If I put my signal, it doesn't match. I cannot use my logo here, but it is much more improved. And I have fine-tuned this image. I have this. I have done it 1 year and a half ago with Premiere, when I wasn't using the absolutely gorgeous DaVinci Resolve. And my Supersource is still alive and working. And what I'm freestyle. Apologize that I'm doing that way, but I'm freestyle. I need to live streaming, upscaling, the settings, limited range, current format, done. Real-time audio monitor, done. And now I say for the rest. In this way, you can have perfect monitor in real time with a slight delay, obviously not perfect as Atem Mini Extreme. You paying the price from different hopes, but with analogic, I'm compensating beautifully. I don't have too much delay. And I have created here different scenes with my second Elgato Stream Deck, only dedicated to the OBS. I'm switching with the original that is under Atem. My original signal is this, without even my packaging. This is the signal actually from Atem. I have emulated completely even this packaging of the downstream key. I have done it inside OBS, and it is this thing. Where is it? Is here. You can see how by pushing the button it is getting activated and deactivated. So this is the mega solution if you want to live happy with Atem Mini Pro. The sound obviously is challenging, much more challenging unfortunately than Atem Mini Extreme. It is flat a little bit, it is problematic. With I'm pushing on purpose to the red because I have done the research how to obtain -14 LUFS without distortions out of Atem Mini Pro and Extreme. And to optimize, I will repeat the audio optimization, level audio optimization on Atem Mini. If you reach this limiter is operating only here, not here. This output is your manual responsibility. This guy here, limiter, doesn't do anything here. If you push the levels and hoping that the limiter will save you, you're in very bad shape. The input is here and I'm at the limit. If I pushing too much, -2, I have the threshold and it is limited. Why is that not -20? If you stay at -20, no one will hear you. Not in your recording locally on Atem Mini, not on my live stream, and you will have -15, -20 dB under the -14 LUFS. This way, it distorts. It's distorting only when you push and reach the 0. I don't reach the 0 under any circumstances. I have fine-tuned every level, input, output, music, microphone. This I need to refine-tune specifically for Atem Mini Pro because it behaves a little bit differently in respect of Atem Mini Extreme, and this is very challenging, extremely challenging, the most challenging thing of Atem Mini Pro. And the levels are here. My levels are never reaching 0. I have everywhere -2, at the output -2, and I'm good with this. I have you can go on YouTube after that tomorrow when it has done the transcoding completely in 4K. You will see I will be probably on minus 1.5 dB before the normalization. That is perfect level, because from Atem Mini, in order to have minus 14 LUFS, you need to stay between minus 5, minus 3 at your maximum level possible, minus 3, minus 2 exceptionally. But you need to stay always there, more or less, with the maximum this sound. It needs to stay at minus 2 if you want good quality sound with the good minus 14 LUFS. And this has been complete. Okay, I'm inviting you to help me with my business restart, to help me GoFundMe to recapitalize the business and my capability to do live production, and to help me to restart the business, because I have been struggling really very much. I'm struggling like crazy in this period. So any help is welcome. I am absolutely grateful for any help of any kind, projects, IT, security, whatever it might be, live production or other initiatives. I'm open to collaborate with anyone. On the description of this live production is present exactly the link. You can click and go there. And I'm grateful for watching my live production, and to eventually, if you can help, I'm absolutely, you can help me to recharge and to restart in the best way. Beautiful Supersource. I'm at the end of this live production. The quality is as always excellent, with only 5.4 megabits per second. And this been for today. I hope it is useful for the community. With this workflow, you actually compensate all the functionalities that are missing of Atem, from Atem Mini Extreme into Atem Mini Pro workflow. Audio, Supersource, multiple outputs. Once I have found, I will reinvest again. I will double test, triple test, mega test with multiple splitters, because it is stated that it can do multiple levels. Let's see. So you can eventually have 4 outputs, but the peculiarity is that they need to be similar in order to have the audio and the good signal as that. Guaranteed. Otherwise there will be issues. Okay, thank you very much. I will probably, if my capacitors are delivered tomorrow and the actual issue is actually what I have found and think that it is, in order to do the repair of this digital sound processor, I will do a video with the, I will put it here, in showing off the displays that is working. So it will be fun. Okay, have a nice week forward. Thank you very much. Support my channels, follow me, support my cause, support my business, support me as a professional, as a member of the community, that I'm doing whatever possible to develop and to deliver value and quality for the community, for my business restart. And I'm grateful with all you can do to grow together. Thank you very much. Have a nice continuation, beautiful week. We will see soon again. Thank you very much. Outro.
Alqubit. IT as an expression of art. Alqubit. IT as an expression of art.